You are already aware of the impending storm if you have spent even 5 minutes on cryptocurrency Twitter this week. The internet erupted in claims, counterclaims, conjecture, inquiry threads, red string conspiracy maps, and a level of crypto-driven indignation not seen since the FTX collapse as soon as a fresh round of congressional financial disclosures became public knowledge. And whether you think it's corruption, a coincidence, or just exaggerated hype, whether you believe the rumors or not, one thing cannot be disputed. The timing is suspicious, the patterns are strange, and the entire cryptocurrency community takes notice anytime odd trading behavior coincides with significant industry events. We're plunging headfirst, fearlessly, into everything being said, analyzed, and whispered by investors today. If you own XRP, fasten your seatbelts because this topic is going to get very, very loud. Let's begin with the actual events. Members of Congress must submit annual financial statements outlining the assets they purchase or sell. Sometimes something strikes out, but most of the time these filings are dull, monotonous, and predictable. Index funds, blue chip stocks, ETFs, some bonds, and maybe the odd real estate partnership or trust. Buying shares before legislation is introduced could be a wise move. A sudden concentration of trades involving several members may cause concern. It may be an asset class that experiences a rapid upward trend just prior to major political action. And because Congress is thought to be the most reliable trading indication in the world, the internet, particularly the cryptocurrency internet, keeps a close eye on these announcements. After witnessing lawmakers outperform hedge funds for years, Ubui has essentially become the unofficial mantra of individual investors when Congress buys. Therefore, the community erupted immediately when this most recent round of reports showed that certain members of Congress, as well as their spouses and dependents, had made trades in cryptocurrencies or products related to cryptocurrencies. It's because of the date, the amount, and the kinds of assets involved, not because anything criminal has been established or anything. Numerous voices started making connections between these trades and the larger crypto regulatory story taking place in Washington on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. Regulation of cryptocurrencies is no longer a niche issue. It combined economic strategy, financial infrastructure, and a national policy. Additionally, every action taken by Washington is scrutinized due to the simultaneous occurrence of high-stakes legislation, court battles, committee discussions, and international competitiveness. The XRP community now joins the conversation. One of the most seasoned, motivated, and hyper-aware investor groups in digital assets is already XRP holders. Every fresh headline feels like a possible turning point after years of navigating the SEC court drama. Thus, as soon as analysts started looking at these disclosures, researchers, community commentators, and XRP influencers started making assumptions. Are legislators putting themselves in a position to clarify regulations? Are they getting ready for an impending bull market? After years of uncertainty, are they expressing trust in the crypto industry as a whole? Some now view these filings as possible breadcrumbs, but the XRP community has always thought that significant institutional adoption was unavoidable. Before continuing, let me state unequivocally that there is no proof that Congress is surreptitiously hoarding XRP. No conspiracy has been proven, no illegal activity has been verified, and no insider trading has been proven. Today we are discussing trade patterns, public disclosures, market psychology, and the responses of the cryptocurrency community by looking at those patterns. That's all. The truth is that speculation is unavoidable and, to be honest, nearly unstoppable when you mix exceptional timing, political clout, and the world's most regulatorily sensitive asset class. One wave of comments has dominated the narrative on cryptocurrency social media. Congress knows something significant is about to happen if they are trading cryptocurrency, particularly during a regulatory overhaul. As analysts started looking at dates, transaction kinds, and committee memberships, this feeling exploded. People began to wonder why trades were taking place so close to important hearings, and why do policy drafts and disclosures occur at the same time? People also questioned why some politicians, who typically steer clear of cryptocurrency completely, are now involved with digital assets. Although none of these inquiries genuinely demonstrate any misconduct, They undoubtedly spark some heated internet debate. Furthermore, conjecture in the cryptocurrency ecosystem travels far more quickly than any official announcement ever could. Let's discuss legislative momentum, which is at the center of the rumor. Congress is currently considering a number of measures pertaining to cryptocurrency. While some concentrate on stablecoins, others are all about market structure, and yet others are trying to define digital assets. National security panels, banking committees, and even financial committees have been discussing how the U.S. might compete in the global cryptocurrency race. Whether they are right or wrong, the XRP community thinks that Clarity would finally allow Ripple's technology to reach its full potential, particularly in sectors like banking, cross-border payments, and institutional liquidity. Politicians in the United States are undoubtedly facing mounting pressure to keep up with overseas authorities, who have already made some rather major advancements in areas like the European Union, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and Japan. Influencers started questioning if politicians purchased cryptocurrency because they actually saw long-term promise, if they diversified like any other investor, or if they were only responding to international regulatory momentum, pushing the U.S. toward clarity as these public filings became available online. None of these options are against the law. None have been verified. However, because it directly addresses one of the main annoyances of the cryptocurrency industry, the story went viral. The idea that when it comes to financial opportunities, politicians are always one step ahead of the general populace. Let's now tackle the unspoken issue of XRP price speculation. XRP holders start speculating about potential outcomes as soon as Washington enters the narrative. Theoretically, XRP might see a strong market reaction. If favorable rules develop, institutions gain confidence, liquidity rises, and adoption quickens. That isn't the same as $5,000, $500, or any other sum that becomes popular on social media. These are not actual valuations. Rather, they represent community forecasts. However, one of the most significant drivers that any cryptocurrency asset might encounter is regulatory clarity. Big money feels more at ease when the rules are clear, and the market changes when institutions make changes. This concept was greatly promoted via social media. Messages such as "Congress knows the future," "Follow the money," and "If they're accumulating, it's because they expect clarity" started to circulate on Twitter. Once more, these are not facts, they are views. But feeling is driven by opinions, you know. Community behavior is driven by sentiment, and engagement is driven by community behavior. If there's one thing that the XRP community is passionate about, it's examining every hint, trend, and breadcrumb that could point to the future. Let's also draw attention to something more grounded. The fact that politicians trade cryptocurrency demonstrates just how commonplace digital assets have become. Retail investors no longer engage in this as a pastime. Technologists no longer have to take this chance. Ethereum and Bitcoin are no longer the exclusive options. This is a legitimate financial area that is being actively shaped by institutions, international competitors, and governments. The truth is straightforward, regardless of your feelings toward Congress, whether you believe in the regulatory process or believe it is skewed. Crypto has joined the ranks of commodities, equities, bonds, and real estate. This implies that every choice, transaction, committee hearing, and disclosure is significant. Let's conclude with this. This isn't advice on finances, it's observing history as it happens. As usual, I'll be here to dissect every development